this is where a lot of my small businesses are going to go running towards. Whoops. Okay. Now, essentially the way the small business plans work is they are going to be typically more so based on health. Okay, hence why, right, go to Marketplace if you have health issues. Private plans, they essentially are looking at it from the same thing I said at the beginning, a risk pool. So if all of us were in a small group plan together, essentially what the insurance company is doing is they put us all into a bucket. They're using our social security number and they're taking a look at our claims and they're trying to figure out our base price to keep it as simple as possible. Okay? And then let's say my front row, sorry, you guys are stuck closest to me, they all have major health issues, they're gonna put a price tag on the front row first. And then they're gonna quote it to everyone in the back. Okay, anyone familiar with kind of how like those group plans work? What you can do instead as a small business owner, if you are looking at it more from an individual or family standpoint, there's a lot of private policies available you can enroll in that do keep the cost significantly lower. So like I know United Healthcare is a big one that does this, is they have a giant group plan in about 40 states with over 200,000 essentially individuals and families. So that risk pool, right, going back to the risk pool, is healthy enough to offset the cost, okay? So as a small business owner, you do have the ability to write off your medical premium, actually at 100%, okay? If you're getting that subsidy I was talking about, you don't get to write off the $800 you're getting handed from the government, you get to write off what you're contributing out. But again, if you are going more for a classic or a small business group, you get the ability to control what you're adding, okay? Now you can write off your dental, and you can write off your vision, and you can also write off some of those additional accident benefits that you're looking for, depending on what you do. Short-term disabilities, some long-term disabilities, some critical illness benefits, and actually is lumped into the essentially medical portion of what you're getting. Okay, so you just have a lot more control over what benefits you're adding on, what you want, what you don't want. All of the men in the room, you guys can take off essentially on some policies. You don't have to have maternity coverage. It actually lowers the cost of your policy because you are not paying for maternity care. Most of you guys aren't going to use it anyway. Okay. As well as financial benefits. Again, you do have the ability to write off those tax deductions, and it essentially will lower that adjusted gross income. If you are stuck paying for your medical insurance anyway, whether you're set up as an LLC or an S Corp, we'll go into like the HRAs, the HSAs, pre-tax deductions. Again, I know none of this is sexy, but I'm trying to give you as much information and prepare for next year as I can. Okay. And then the flexibility and strategies, right? Those are going to help you, again, if you are a small business, you're offering group policies across the board, you do have the ability to actually choose what you want to contribute. So let's say I have 5 employees, okay? And clearly I'm the business owner, I get to write off my premium at 100%. You have the ability to control how much you want to contribute to your employees. So if you are under 50 employees, you actually don't have to contribute anything towards their medical premium. You really don't. You can choose, I'm going to offer them the group rate at the cost. So instead of them getting it by themselves for that $800 price point, they might get it at $500 through the group, and you can offer it to them without contributing towards that medical premium, but they're able to get the group rates. Okay, so they're part of the group, they think you're offering the benefits, which you are, you're just not contributing towards them. Okay. Or on the flip side, what you have the ability to do is, again, contribute, whether it be from a percentage standpoint, I'm going to cover half of their premium, or like a fixed amount, 100, 200 bucks, you get the ability to choose. Okay. Quick comparison, again, just to kind of walk you guys through it. Marketplace, I noticed it is going to be better for your individuals, families, major health issues. Your small group plans are going to be better for self-employed, small business owners, or your healthy individuals. There are a lot of private options or small group plans you guys can look at. Again, you do get free tax benefits from the small group plan, more so post-tax benefits from the ACA Marketplace, and they are going to be in, whereas the small group plans actually are going to be more on the health-based side when they structure this cost. Okay. So health insurance as essentially a building tool. So you guys can keep your costs down, okay? So essentially, again, if you're offering that group rate, you get to determine your contribution. Okay, this is where the insurance starts to become a financial one. So it's no longer just about benefits, coverage options, etc. We're turning it into a financial one. So this is where the health insurance can be set up through the business the correct way. Okay, so I typically recommend using your banking. If you do have your own banking, company banking account, set it up through it. You can set up your payroll. But this is where you can treat it as a tax deductible expense, meaning those dollars reduce your tax bill. Okay, so that way you owe less money at the end of the year when you are filing your taxes, okay? 52% of employees essentially gravitate towards plans. They have a lower turnover rate if their businesses are offering employees. There's a lot of employees out there gravitating towards policies specifically for health insurance benefits. Again, whether you, the business owner, is contributing or not, they're just looking for a company that offers benefits at the end of the day. So that way they can avoid those marketplace options.